It's October 30th. We're getting ready to head down to Missouri to hit some public land. It's an area we've never been to before, completely new to us. We're taking the boat, gonna do another river hunt just like we did in Kentucky. I really like that tactic. You can really access the really remote stuff that has pretty much no hunting pressure. So it's very successful if you do it right. So we got 4 days that we're gonna be down there. Like I said, it's a new area, so we're gonna spend the first day doing a lot of scouting. There's gonna be 3 of us, so we're gonna try to find 3 pretty prime spots, hang a few stands, see what we got going on. When you're in a new area, you gotta bounce around a little bit to find them, but I'm pretty confident. From doing e-scouting, it looks like a really good area, so I really think we're gonna get into something, but we shall find out.
What do you say, Ron?
I don't know.
Cash, Ron. There's old Slamerican himself right there. You ready to get after him, pal?
Absolutely.
Got everything all rigged up. About 2 hours away from our destination. Check some straps. Everything's going good. Fill the truck up. Got her all loaded down. I think Zach forgot his zip code.
No, it says okay. I'm trying to press okay.
Oh yeah? I could.
Roller dogs.
Not much to choose from, huh, Ron?
Yeah, I got a green chili burrito. Oh, they don't have no hot dogs?
That right there is a damn shame. That the good kind?
What'd you get?
Burrito.
All I got's a Reese cup. They didn't have no hot food when I went in there.
Smell that? Smells like success. Right around the corner. This one right here, just go around that corner. Success is right there. To our first spot that we're gonna start scouting. It's still early in the day. We got most of the day to figure out what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start scouting some different areas. Since we're gonna already be up in the woods scouting, we're just gonna bring some antlers with us and do some rattling. We got the rut probably taking off right about now, if not really soon. So we're gonna take some rattling antlers up in there with us and just do a little bit of rattling, see if we can't get something to come in. Like I said, we got most of the day to scout, so we're going to try to check out most of the area and find a few good spots to hang stands. Just from first impressions, just pulling up to the bank, there's already deer tracks everywhere, so it's a really good sign. We're about to walk up into the woods. We can see some deer trails feeding up in there, so I think we have a really good chance in this area. It's looking really good. peninsula. I mean, this woods is huge. Like, it goes on for hundreds and hundreds of yards. Or we can go up farther to where it's like 250 yards across.
Whatever's fine with me.
It just depends on how far you want to go in and hunt, you know what I mean? Clearly there's deer here. There's tracks everywhere. Let's go like right up to the back of this basin. And if we don't see anything really, really good, like one of us wants to hunt there, we'll go back. This whole otter. Get that on film, Zach. There's 2 otters right there. There's one there. Oh, damn, look at them all. That's their dam. Look at all them suckers. That's pretty cool, man. Did any of you guys like that spot enough to want to hang a stand there, or you want to... between them 2 trees. See right between them.
Oh yeah.
Might be a deer. I'm gonna walk over there. We can go check, I guess. Hold on. I want to verify. Well, it's our first evening here in Missouri. We've got 3 different spots picked out. I'm in one, Ron's in another spot, and we got Zach in another spot. We're kind of hunting different types of areas. I'm in more of a river bottom, kind of real thick, surrounded by bedding cover. I got a couple really, really good scrapes about 25 yards from my tree. Zach is currently sitting on a little transition area right on the edge of a and then some really thick bedding cover. We actually found a big setting there. There's so many trees that are starting to on them, so really good sit for him. And then Ron's gonna sit with him. He's hunting a funnel area out of some bedding cover into some big open fields. So we kind of spread out pretty good. Tried to hunt different areas, see where we're seeing deer. There's a lot of sunlight all over the place. A lot of fresh scrapes and rubs. So we're feeling pretty good. We got 3 more days after today, so I think there's a good chance that we're going to get into something.
We just had a pretty nice buck come in here. He was about 50 yards away. About an hour of daylight left here. And he came down this ridge right here. And there's a bunch of scrapes and stuff. I was hoping he was gonna follow these scrapes in front of me, but he never did. He just moseyed on and was eating acorns and whatnot. I hit my grunt call. He looked at me, but didn't take no interest in it. I got pretty high hopes for this spot because there's about 4 or 5 scrapes along this ridge right here, but we'll see what happens.
Well, that was pretty exciting. Still our first evening, but had a lot of deer action. I had this pretty nice buck come out. He was cruising the edge of this bottom right at 120 yards, and he got right up to that little pond right there, drank for like 20 minutes, and he kept looking. I had a doe under me. Kept looking at that doe, but he would not commit. He's just on edge. Something had him on edge, and eventually he just kind of moseyed off. But we've seen probably 10 or 12 deer here the first evening, and like I said, there's a bunch of scrapes, tons of good signs. So I have really high hopes that we're going to get into something here. I think it's just a matter of time. So hopefully Zach and Ron are seeing something too. I haven't heard from them. The surface is pretty rough here, but so far it's looking good. Well, it's our second evening in Missouri now. Been seeing quite a few deer. Been pretty good movement the majority of the time we've been here. Tons of deer sign. I had a pretty decent buck come in yesterday. I just couldn't quite get a good shot off on him. This morning, I seen 6 does. The boys seen a couple deer. Just nothing worth shooting or nothing that's committed fully, so we got 2 days left. The weather's looking pretty good. It's getting cold. A couple of the bucks I seen yesterday were chasing does, so the rut's definitely kicking off here. Lots of fresh scrapes. I just moved one of my stands from this morning. I moved it down this drainage a little farther because it's like a funnel. The deer work down through this drainage, and there's multiple deer trails that just converge into one right here at the end. And some of the deer I seen this morning, a lot of them were funneling right down to this pinch point right here. So where I am here, there's a giant field out to my right that the deer seem to want to move out to, and then to my left it's all super thick cockleburs and a whole mess of thickness that the deer are clearly bedding in. So hoping that something comes in. We'll see. I think we got a pretty good chance. We got Zach and Ron hunting too. Ron's just hunting down the drainage from me, and then Zach is across the river in a different spot. So he's seen a pretty good one there last night at 50 yards. Just couldn't get a shot. We're thinking that deer's still in that area though, so we think he has a pretty good chance too. I'll show you what we're kind of working with in this spot real quick. So that's everything to my left. It's real thick, dense bedding cover. And then the deer funnel down through this, right out here in front of me. And they've been working out into this big drainage right out here to my right. So we'll see if we can get into anything. We just smoked a doe. Got a buck tag and a doe tag, and been seeing so many does. It'd be pretty nice to have some fresh deer meat over the fire tonight, so had a big doe come in and give us a perfect shot at 20 yards, so I went ahead and took the shot. Pretty sure I made a really good shot. I heard a ton of crashing when she took off, but she ran into probably the thickest stuff you could ever imagine. It's like 9-foot tall weeds that are so dense you can't hardly walk through them, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Trying to track her through that, but I'm pretty sure she didn't go into that stuff, but maybe 25-30 yards, so shouldn't be too bad. I just had right before that doe, about 25 minutes before that, I had a pretty nice 8-pointer come in, but he was right on the edge of range at like 50 yards, and I just wasn't comfortable with the shot, so we still got the rest of the evening and 2 more days, so I think we got a pretty good chance of killing a buck. There's a lot of deer movement in this area, so we'll see. We're going to go see if we can find this doe when it gets dark, and then go from there. But I think Ron said he's got some does under him too, and Zach's seen a few deer already this evening, so ought to be a pretty good trip. It's shaping up to be pretty good, so we'll see.
Well, that was exciting. We had a doe come in here and it came out about 20 yards. I pinwheeled it. It only ran about 30. And then I seen it pile up down there in the creek bottom there. So I'm gonna call the guys. I haven't said anything yet. I'm gonna wait till they get done hunting here. It's the 3rd evening, so I'll wait. I'm not gonna screw up their hunts or nothing, so I'm gonna wait, and once it gets dark, I'll tell them the good news. We'll come back in here and pack it out. Well, it's November 2nd here in Missouri. Austin's hunting over there across the field. I'm hunting this. We're in a bunch of big goldenrod field right here. We're hoping the deer bedding in there, and we'll come out here this evening. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. We're gonna see what happens, and we're gonna go through it. Ron's in the big pond over there, down the river some more. Hopefully we can get one tagged in.
Well, we're back home in Indiana now. The trip went good. It was pretty much what we expected it to be. We seen quite a few deer, had some really good opportunities on some nice bucks, but they wouldn't come the last 10 yards. I personally had 4 bucks I would have shot within 70, 80 yards, but they just wouldn't come that last step, or they'd turn at the last second. Eventually, about halfway into the hunt, we just decided we were going to take a few does because we really wanted to eat some fresh backstrap over the fire. We're getting pretty sick of eating ramen noodles and all that instant food, so me and Zach did end up taking a couple does, but we learned a lot about the area. I think we'll definitely be going back in the future. It's a very, very promising area. A lot of good signs. Seen a lot of deer, so I think for a future hunt we can go back there and probably have some better success and kill some bucks. So, like we got New York coming up in a couple weeks, so we're gonna focus on that, and then hopefully be back to Missouri next year.